What's up, guys? You may remember I used to do things on the best loadouts for every playstyle, or as you may want to call it, the best loadouts for other things, I guess. But I'm going to introduce a few new loadouts that I came up with, and make sure to go watch parts 1 and part 2 so you could fully understand all the loadouts and stuff. But obviously you could skip to this one. Anyway, let's get into it. Because this loadout is the energy rifle one, which is called the Ricochet Tactician. And as you can see, obviously, it ricochets, blah blah blah. That is the main theme of the loadout. But anyway, the loadout consists of the energy rifle, as you can see here. And the energy rifle, it reflects off of things and it does 15 damage prior to the latest update, which, yeah, now it's 15, obviously. But it, just do 15 damage. Headshot, I believe, is 30. I cannot. Let me figure this out. Yeah, I believe the headshot is 30, but. Oh, yeah, let's go like this. So the headshot is 25. Not the best, but. This weapon was nerfed because you could absolutely kill the other team on Big Arena, so it was way too overpowered. For some reason, these guns are so loud. Jesus Christ. But anyway, yeah, that is the energy rifle, which is the primary of this loadout. And our secondary is going to have to be the energy pistols. This would not be like an energy ricochet tactician without the energy pistols. So yeah, the energy rifle and the energy pistols both have infinite ammo, but the energy pistols don't ricochet. It's just a spam weapon, and I don't think this is in the meta anymore. Nobody really uses it. So this weapon's super underrated. Like, if you put it to its full extent, it could be as good as Slingshot. Both really good, but our third weapon is the katana, which is our melee, and 45 damage apiece. Yeah, so katana is a pretty good weapon. I have the key one on right now, but it is a pretty good weapon. 45 it hits. But the main thing about the katana is if someone uses a different type of weapon on you, then you can just deflect and boom, you're good. So that's a really good thing about this loadout, which is the main reason why I picked it. But that is the melee. But now we have to move on to the utility. I have not used smoke grenade in a long time, but as you can see, I picked this one because you can just shoot them right through the cloud without them even knowing. So like if they're in the cloud, you just shoot like the corner and then shoot a ton of them, which is really useful. So that's why I picked smoke grenade. Also, it kind of stacks. So that's a good thing about it too. And I just learned I have gold on it too, which is kind of cool. But that is pretty much the energy tactician loadout. And we're going to actually move on to the next loadout. Do you want to win the Ultra Key Bundle? All you have to do is join our Discord server in the channel's description. You also need to subscribe, and that's it. The giveaway is at 700 subscribers. Thank you. So this is the Paintballer playstyle, which is our next loadout. As you can see, it has the paintball gun, the Uzi, the scythe, and the Molotov. And this loadout are for people that really like the high damage, moving around assault rifle type things. So we have the paintball gun here. Body shot, 18.5 damage. Headshot, also 18.5 damage, but this weapon is very consistent. The only problem with the paintball gun is it does not have much ammo, but that is why we have the Uzi and the other weapons with us, which the Uzi does a lot of damage, honestly, for being such a low amount of keys. So that's why it's really useful. And that's the reason why I like it. And then yeah, that's pretty much those ones. And then we got the scythe here, which does actually a bit of damage, but the bad thing about it is it doesn't really do too much damage, and it has a low cooldown. You still could hit pretty good damage with it, but honestly, if I want to go with melee shots, like melee hits, then I'd probably want to take trowel, knife or katana over, honestly. So, but the main reason why I picked this one is because of its dash ability, which you could, do this, which is you could, and then, so like, depending on what map you are on, you could dash up, and then fire. Oh my god, I missed all my shots. You could dash up, shoot them. It does take a minute for you to get your weapon out, but yeah, that's the thing. And then for our last weapon, Molotov, which is really nice damage, which is probably the main reason why I have Molotov. The burn damage is really nice when you pair it up with these other weapons. So yeah, that's pretty much it. We got, well, let me test out the Molotov. Look at all that nice damage. It also has a big amount of like AoE and burn, so you could hit multiple people in one area. This is especially useful for campers because it kind of just like, how do I explain it? It's just a pretty good basic weapon, standard weapon, whatever they're called, which is, yeah. But more on the other weapons, paintball gun does do 18.5. Talked about that already. But yes, so the Uzi is a automatic. It does 8 a hit, and it sprays in a volley, and then its headshot is 10. Okay, so that's pretty good, which is, yes, why I picked it, but I just want to showcase it more. But, yeah, the scythe, pretty good damage, but anyway, that is pretty much just the Paintballer Expert loadout, and let's move on to the next loadout. So our next loadout up is the Troll loadout, which if you guys are a long-time fan, then you guys would remember this loadout from past times, but it is mainly for trolling purposes, even though it can be used for actual battles, but it's just to actually make the user mad. Like, so the flamethrower, honestly, it's debateful because a lot of people would say minigun or grenade launcher is way more deadly, but honestly, if we're putting weapons into deadly, I think it's the flamethrower. Like, you guys might not agree, but I think it's the most dangerous weapon in the game, which makes it so freaking overpowered. And that is pretty much the main reason why I choose the flamethrower, because it does so much damage. It has burn damage, and it has an ability, which is so freaking useful. Imagine what you could do with this loadout, man. It's like, it's endless with the flamethrower, the ability. But anyway, on our next weapon, we have the exo gun, which, as you can see, aim in, bam, bam, bam. So it does do 20 damage if you get them on hit, but it is mainly for people that can't aim, which is also a reason why I picked it for a troll loadout, because like, either way, you could still hit them, which will make them really mad as long as they die. So if you 5-0 someone with these weapons, what I'm looking for is just to make them super mad. That's what I'm doing. So even if you don't hit, you can still do some nice damage. But anyway, getting shots with this is very good. The only thing is it doesn't have much ammo, but it does have a quick reload, which is also very useful. As you can see, the weapon is obviously the exo gun. It's obviously from COD, but that's pretty much why I picked the exo gun. But for our third weapon is the riot shield, because if you're on maps with like holes in it, like this side of station or construction, then you can knock people off. They're not knocking back. I forget. But yeah, you can knock them back like I just did to that guy, which makes people super mad. And you can also go like this. Watch. Camp in the corner. Pull that out. Put that back in. Pull that out. So if they turn around and try to do stuff, you could just sit in this corner and you can't, like, you could do anything. Which is why the troll loadout is so useful. But there is the riot shield for another upcoming loadout that we are going to go over. But it is not the next one we are going over. But it will be there soon. But anyway, for our utility, we have the Molotov again, like the paintball loadout. Yes, it does burn damage. Combo this with that. Tons of damage. Exo gun 2 combo with that. So you could do some pretty nice combos with this loadout. Like, oh, I did not mean to do that. But yeah, you could do some nice combos. That is the main reason why I chose this loadout. But I think we need to move on to the next loadout. I don't know what you think about this one, but yeah, let's get to the next one. So our final loadout on this list, I said earlier that this wouldn't be the final loadout, but turns out it will be. Kind of got it mixed up, but this loadout consists of the assault rifle, and it is, before I get into it, it is called the Defender loadout. Obviously, it has the riot shield, which is the main theme of this loadout, but it does have the assault rifle here, which does really nice damage. It has, I believe, yeah, 20 rounds per, thing, and then 100 ammo. So, one shot, it is semi-automatic, I believe, is what it's called, if it isn't fully automatic. One shot does 13 damage, it looks like, but usually in one volley it does double bullets. So if you can actually hit shots, then this is super deadly, because it is a starter weapon. Oops, okay. Yeah, it is a starter weapon, but, it's still very overpowered. And then we have our second weapon, which is the slingshot, which, bounces off walls, which is kind of like energy pistols, but, energy rifle, but, it doesn't have infinite ammo. And this one does good damage, so it's kind of like if energy rifle and energy pistols had, a kid, I guess. But anyway, yeah, that is why I picked Slingshot. It has 100 ammo. I'm pretty sure it does, yeah. Has no ammo after that, so if you waste it all, then that's bad. And I just ran out, so... And then we have our melee, which is the main theme, like I said. And it does 25 damage a hit. Like I said earlier in construction, you can, about construction, you can knock people off the map. And then, like I said in the last loadout, the way covered, you could sit in a corner and then just defend. And then, that's pretty much why it's called the Defender. You defend yourself, fire at them, do whatever you want to defend yourself. And then for our utility, I have the Freeze Ray to freeze people, and then you could do some damage to them. So this one is mainly offense, but I added the Freeze Ray so you could put a bit of... Sorry, it's mainly defense, and I added Freeze Ray to put a bit of offense. Which you just launch that, and you freeze them up, and then boom, take them out. So, that's the nice thing about this loadout. That is the end, guys, and I will see you later. If you guys want a part 4, make sure to get this to, actually, I don't really care, but, thank you guys so much, and I guess I'm gonna see you later. Make another thing later, I don't know, but anyway, yeah, my outro's not the great, but, yeah, I'll see you later.